The estimated number of tourist arrivals for this year is 5.355 million. This is an increase of 5% from last year. Calculate the number of tourist arrivals for last year. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to let X equal the number of tourist arrivals for last year. And that is equal to X. So X is equal to the number of tourist arrivals for last year. Then that means that the following computations hold. And so that means if we let X equal to the number of tourist arrivals for last year, then this equation is true. So we have 5.355 million. And so 5.355 million, that is the amount of tourist arrivals for this year, 5.355 million. But what exactly is 5.355 million? Well, 5.355 million is actually equal to the total amount of tourists that arrived for last year plus 5% of, or 5% multiplied by the total number of tourists that arrived for last year. Because it says that 5.355 million, this represents an increase of 5% from last year. And so that means that 5.355 million is actually equal to X, the number of tourist arrivals for last year, plus 5% of the total number of tourist arrivals for last year. Indeed, what we do, we say 5%, and 5% is going to be written as a decimal, and 5% written as a decimal is 0.05. And so we have 0.05x plus x is equal to 5.355. Next, we add, so we say 0.05x plus 1x is equal to 1.05x. So 0.05x plus x is equal to 1.05x. And we set that equal to 5.355. Next, we divide both sides of this equation by 1.05. And we cancel this with that. So we have that x is equal to 5.355 divided by 1.05. And when we divide these two, what do we get? We get that x is equal to 5.1. So that means that the number of tourist arrivals for last year, is going to be 5.1 million. All right, 5.1 million. Let's write that. So x is equal to 5.1 million. So the number of tourist arrivals, so let's let me write that here. So the answer is 5.1 million. So let's write that down. So that means that the number of tourists arrivals for last year is 5.1 million. Or I should say was. Sum of tourist arrivals for last year was 5.1 million. Okay, so that's the answer for this one. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So let's go. It says, the next part of this question says that calculate the projected, it says that the projected number of tourist arrivals for next year is 5.5692 million. Calculate the projected percentage increase for tourist arrivals. So we want the projected percentage increase. And so projected percentage increase is going to be equal to, wait, not percentage yet, just the projected increase. The projected increase is going to be equal to 5.5692 minus 5.355. And we subtract these two because this one is the amount that's projected for next year. And this amount is the amount that happened. If you notice carefully, it says that this year it was 5.355. So this one is the amount for this year. This one is the amount for next year. So in order for us to figure out the increase, we have to subtract, right? So when we subtract, we get 0.2142. So 0.2142, and that's going to be the increase, the projected increase. But they want the projected percentage increase, and that's going to be equal to the increase divided by the original multiplied by 100 over 1. Now, what is the increase? The increase is what we got here, the difference that we got right here, 0.2142, and we divide that with 5.355 because that's the original. That's the amount that we got for this year. And we multiply that by 100 over 1. And so we have 0.2142 multiplied by 100 is 21.42. And we divide it by 5.355 multiplied by 1, which gives us 5.355. Next, we divide these two. And when we divide these two, we get 4. So that means that the projected increase, right? So the projected increase for tourist arrivals is 4%. And that's the answer to this particular question.